Welcome back to Playwright from Zero to Hero. So, in this class, we are going to learn or explore how to extract different types of values from the DOM, such as text values, input field values, or attribute field values. Excuse me. So, what I meant to say is like how I can extract the value of this submit button, or how I will be sure that the value which I have provided in this email field is the correct one, or how to be sure that this and under the different options we have here, right? Whether we have a new option called option 1, or like the placeholder whatever we have here has something called email. So how we can verify all those things. So I think in order to save the time, I already written the code and I will explain you, because my videos are becoming like too lengthy when I'm writing the code and all those things. So in order to save the time, I already written the code for this thing and I'll explain. So first code like I have written to extract the single value. So let just to extract the value of this submit button, let me just inspect it. So I wanted to check whether the text of this button is submit only or not. If you see, they have already mentioned the submit. If we inspect also, the text is correct only. They have mentioned it as submit. So now I have to verify. I wanted to verify. So what I did first, I created the like a parent locator, and with the help and assign it to some base form, and then I created one more child constant variable, and I have just found, like with the help of this parent, I've tried to found the locator unique in that form. So base form, the uniqueness is nothing but a button, right? Here, so I just used nothing but dot locator button. I have just used button, the name of the button I have used, and I have tried. So in order to get the content, what we have to use, dot text content you have to use. So and once you get that thing, now you have to compare the value, right? How we can compare? Using the value called expect, and whatever the value you have created above constant, just compare. Like in order to compare, you have to use dot equal to, and just which thing you want to compare, like just wanted to check whether the text is submit only or not. So once you do that thing, I think once you run, it will let me just try to run. So first, if I just run, right, it will obviously it will get paused. Let me show you. First the past thing I will show you, and then I will try to fail and I will show you. So if it shows tick mark, right, so everything got passed and it showed tick mark. So I can show that in the UI also. Let it run in the UI. So I think all the code I already written, everything it got passed. Okay, so placeholder, I have written some extra code for the other things which I wanted to explain in this class. So let me try to fail it. Let's say the button text what is something called submit 1. So like whether is equal to submit 1 or not, the content, but whatever we got from the button is like submit. So it should fail this time if I run, right? Because what we are expecting is submit 1, but what it is getting is submit. So this time it will fail. Let me show you in the UI only. You see, submit 1, it got failed here. Even in the code also it will show, it show the line of code where it got failed. or else you can, like, if you run here also it will fail and it will show what is the expected and what is the actual. Okay, it's taking some time. Okay, you see, the expected is submit one, but what it received from the dot text content, it received submit, so the reason it got failed. Let me just correct it. Okay, this is just to extract the single value. Let's say you wanted to extract the multiple value and you want to check whether from the multiple values they reach the option which you are looking. So what I mean to say is, so you are going to extract these multiple values from this radio button, radio option 1, option 2 and disabled option. So you wanted to check whether from these multiple values whether there is something content called option 1. So how you can do it? So you write a code, like in order to identify the parent element, and so the parent of this is nothing but NB radio. Let me just inspect and show you. So you see here, the parent is nothing but the NP radio. So the reason in my code I have written the, like page dot locator NB radio I took, and then whatever the contents which falls under that parent, I'm just fetching that thing. So how you can fetch dot all text contents? Just single one you have to use dot text content. For multiple you have to use dot all text contents. Same. So in order to now compare the attribute value, or to check whether it contain or not, you have to say expect, and whatever the variable you have created, use that and to contain, and you give whether it's there or not. So I'll just now this is the past case. I will just show you the fail one. But before that, I think I already executed. When I executed for the first time, everything got passed, right? So this time I will just fail, because since it will, from the list of array, what it gets is option 1, option 2 and option and I think disable option. But what we are looking is this thing, so it should fail this time if I run this thing. See, it got failed. So it received the array option 1, option 2 and disabled option, but it doesn't from that received array, it does not have any value whatever we are expecting, like option 1.2. So the reason it got failed. So I've just showed you the negative cases, but the positive already written how we can extract, and how you can just whether it contain or not, you can just check using dot contain dot to contain, and you can extract the values from dot all text contents. Now let's say you want to you have inputted some value in this field. Let's say this field, in this field you have inputted something called test at test, something like test.com. Now you wanted to check whether the value you inputted is correct or not. You have correct value inputted is the correct value you inputted or not. How you can do it? It's same thing. First you create a like identify the unique element, parent element, and then fill like how, in order to input what you are going to use the content, in order to fill any text, you will just use dot fill. Right now, after that, to create one more constant and get the, from this email field, get the input value whatever you have inputted. How you can get it? To like to input, you have to use dot fill. To get it, dot input value you have to use and then after you get that thing, you just compare like with the value what you are expecting. How you can do it is, like, you expect, and whatever the like a constant variable you created dot equal to this thing or not. So if it is if I think for the first it will pass. Let me just show you. Run and it will show you. So your code is running. So it inputted that field and everything got passed. It is not showing any error. So you say tick mark. Let's say what I am expecting is like something like test 1. Now this time if I run right, it will fail, because whatever the input value it got and whatever we are expecting is completely different. So I'm showing you the fail case. It should fail at this instant. You see, the what we are expecting is test 1 at but what it received is like a test at test.com, so the reason it got failed. Okay, so this is like in order to get the input value you have to use a dot input value attribute and you can like compare and you can get it. This is for the input value. The last one is, let's say you want to extract the attribute value itself. So what I mean to say is the attribute value is the placeholder of this attribute value is the email, right? So you wanted to get this value of the placeholder. How you can do it? So simple. I think I already wrote a code for this thing. I'm just I'll just say await email field, like parent I already created, right? So I'm just and dot get attribute. So in order to get the attribute, what you have to dot get attribute. So what attribute, like we will have a multiple attributes. So let me just inspect it. I will show you. So which one you are going to get this thing? Placeholder, right? Placeholder email, you are going to get this thing placeholder. So we have multiple attributes. This one is the attribute, this is also attribute, type is also attribute. So we have different attributes, right? So now I'm just using the placeholder email one. So I'm just so get attribute with the help of what is the attribute name I have given, like placeholder. Now you have assigned it to the place value, and you are going to check whether the placeholder is having email or not. If I think it will pass. If I just execute this thing, it will pass. Let's say if you just change it to something else, it will get fail. Let me just see the first pass scenario. See, it got executed, everything got passed. Let me go back, it got tick mark. Let's say what I'm looking is just emails, something like that, and I will try to run this code again. This time it should fail. Because what we are getting is like email, what we are expecting is emails, so it will fail. I'm just waiting for it to get executed. Okay, you see it got executed and it is saying the expected is emails, but it got received email. Just I'm showing the failed instances for you for better understanding. Let me just close this thing. So just to quickly recap of the methods we learned. So for how many methods we have learned, like dot text content dot text content. In order to extract the text of a single element, you use this method dot text content. And in order to extract the text from the group of element as an array, what you used dot all text contents you use. So let's say you want to retrieve the value from the input fields, what you will use dot input value. So and in order to extract the specific attribute value, you will just use dot get attribute and the attribute name you will use. Okay, so that's all for this lesson. Practice these methods to strengthen your understanding, and see you in the next one.